Hello everybody, please come and get seated. We're so glad you're here. Tonight is going to be a really important night with lots of critical information and action, of course, because we're now, right? So today we're going to be talking about strengthening families and communities, rethinking women's incarceration. But before we do that, first we are going to start with our social start. So please find someone you don't know very well or don't know at all, and discuss what book or movie do you wish you could experience again for the first time. Okay.
Yeah. Everything everywhere all at once.
So someone you don't know, you have to get up and Google it.
Everything everywhere. It's a movie.
Hey, I don't know you about that.
I do not know you either. I also don't know what book I should say.
I know. I was like, I saw the question earlier. Like, I'm Jen DiMatteo.
I'm Kim Melcher. I did not know this group existed. One of my friends from one of the other advocacy groups posted it. Check it out.
These are great. I've been a member for a while, but I've been able to volunteer for the last several months. So I go to all of these monthly organization meetings. It's great.
Yeah.
Like there's great topics, great speakers.
I teach students with an alternative ed, so a lot of mine end up going to prison, and I see that a couple are back out just now, but I have more experience with the male than the female.
Honestly, I used to be a student for child protection years ago, but then I've worked with over the years. I've worked with a lot of different kinds of people, but yeah, I brought so many kids into jail because we used to open their conversations just to try to keep that connection. It's just people make mistakes, tear families apart, communities apart.
One of my students was just saying how when he was younger, his dad was in prison for 25 years, and his stepdad was in prison pretty soon. And he says that his dad probably had ran Suboxone back then. He's 18 now, so like even back then that was, I guess, a thing that I didn't know about, and now I know that it's obviously a thing. And is that Tachita issue too, or is it no longer because Tachita does supplicate?
I honestly don't know. I don't know anything about the prison system
Other
than working with
This
families.
is not directly related to the prison?
This is. I'm not.
Okay. All right, got it.
I mean, I work with families who have been affected, but I'm not. I actually write for the newsletter, our Appleton Area Now newsletter, so I'm here to actually learn and take notes and I'll write a little article about it.
I was just helping one of the guys at Green Bay try to access supplicate because they do Suboxone in there, and they apparently what they would get on the outside with a prescription is worth like $600 a day. So they like cut it up into eighths and then stick it on their eye, and it's because like it's around there, and I don't know about drugs like they're teaching me about it, but the DOC is doing some opioid medicated but it started at Toshiba, I think. And then people who are coming in from the jails that offer it, they're able to continue once they get to prison. But the people who've been sitting in there for 5 or 6 or more years aren't able to access it,
And then I
even if they had the prescription.
understand prison to prison is so dramatically different. So somebody might come get transferred from one to another and not be able to have their meds, not be able to.
Well, that's supposed to continue with them now. Like, this has only started in November, but he has gone through all of the different processes, and we reached out to an attorney in Illinois, and he initially took it, but he said unless this guy would have in prison, which he can't really do, he wasn't willing to take the case. So now he's going to go at it another route, but it's frustrating for the guys that get it on the streets. I know that it's available to some people, but it's not available to them because they've been there for too long.
Hopefully if you happen to finding a medical advocate who can like help provide.
Okay, was that fun? It's almost like reliving old memories, right? So thank you, Rachel, for kicking us off, as well as coming up with a great question to start with. Let's thank Rachel for our social step. So this is what we're going to go through today. We'll initially go through, or I will go through a quick update and share what our plans are for the third quarter. Because for those of us who've been coming to our meetings, we always have lots of stuff going on, and third quarter will be no different, at least August. Then we will ask Jean to come up to talk about our volunteer needs, because we are finding, even though we have a great board, it takes a village to get this stuff done, right? So we want to share with you where we need some help. And then, the main event. So Sherry will introduce Julie. Raise your hand, Julie. It's great to meet you. Thank you for coming. And so that will be, the primary information we'll be sharing is about women in incarceration and how that affects families and the community and what we can do about it, which leads us to action. So thank you, Julie, for sharing all the information you've shared with us so far to help us prepare, and then thanks in advance for what you bring in here. So I just mentioned our board. We have a new board member. So Sue Donarski, yes, please. So we're thrilled to have Sue joining our board. She is a retired IT specialist, IT professional, and so because she has a security background in information security background, information technology, everybody needs somebody who has a knowledge in security. So she's already telling me, maybe you don't want to publish your passwords on your drive. So we have lots to talk about. So she had just retired from Thrivent a couple years ago, right? And had been with Schneider National before that. And if you know anything about those companies, financial services, transportation, male-dominated, I'm not surprised that Sue's been a feminist for a long time. And she's part of the Singing Grannies, and so is Dory, and that's how we found Sue. So I'll come back to that maybe in a second. This way? Technology's not working today, so we're doing this a little differently.
person here.
What? So a few of us at the end of June were in the DC area for the National Now conference. They gave us these shirts for the 60th anniversary of the Now organization. So there were 5 of us representing Appleton area Now, which is, for us, a record, right? Last year we had 4, so 5 is a record. And it was everything. Hopefully some of you have read our reflections in the last newsletter, but it was informative, it was eye-opening, it was engaging, it was a whole bunch of positive adjectives. We also had a chance to meet some celebrities like Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House Emerita. So she was kind of a keynote speaker. Really, she really gave like a fireside chat kind of conversation, and very inspiring. But we also, 4 of us had a chance to go to Capitol Hill for Lobby Day. Those of us who were here for our town hall in early June, you remember signing on those fabric lengths that Melissa had prepared? This was us presenting it to Tammy Baldwin. So what we were doing was going to our representatives in Congress and talking about the bills to recognize, do research, and treat women's pain and also menopause. And it was great to be able to talk about it. We got very good reception from the staff members that we were able to talk to, including Ron Johnson's legal staffer, I should say. She's an attorney.
Female or male?
Female.
Female, okay.
I'm glad we didn't have to talk to any male staffers because well, I shouldn't say that. We did talk to, who was it? Corey's there. We talked to Glenn Grothman's staffer, right, Corey?
Yes, Dominic.
Dominic, and he was kind of stunned. Glenn Grothman, 20 Weed, they didn't have an appointment for us. They didn't want to meet with us, so we just went in the office and talked to the guys that were in the reception area. Dropped off literature, dropped off story cards. We were happy to tell Marge's story from the town hall everywhere we went. So you should ask Marge what her story was. So it was, for us, it was very positive. I just talked to somebody at the national office a couple nights ago. They said, we want to do lobby days way more often. Not once every 60 years, maybe every year. So we'll see if how they do with that plan. But they kicked off the conference, being the 60th anniversary, with a video to celebrate 60 years. And to recognize that the battle is far from over, I should say the war, because it's many battles. So, let me see if I can bring this up. Worked before. Oops.
Do you have to press shift?
It could be in the background.
Oh, nice.
There's nothing radical about equality.
You don't have to hide who you are. You don't have to hide your values.
We take our strength as women, as protectors, as caretakers, and we use that for everyone in our community.
A fierce feminist is unafraid, is unashamed, is ready to go to war.
Standing up even when it's uncomfortable.
Having the courage to demand equality.
Turning anger into action.
standing up for all sisters and not backing down.
Fierce feminism means you are standing in the shoes of women who've gone before, who could not speak out, who could not be heard, who could not push back.
Each one of you, when you go out door to door, might be making a little bit of history and a whole lot of progress for women.
In 1972, Congress passed the Equal Rights Amendment bill. Now came into prominence in the early 70s and throughout that decade because of its advocacy for the Equal Rights Amendment. That was such an exciting time for the country, for women's rights, but I don't agree that women's economic progress is a settled issue. The ERA is necessary but not sufficient in helping to solve economic justice gaps in this country. With the ERA in hand, the courts can do better. There are bills pending that Congress can pass to put it in the Constitution. You know, there are movements that are undermining all the progress that we've made. So it's up to us to stand strong, have influence. If we can get the Equal Rights Amendment into our Constitution, that should be a major step forward.
I grew up in a household in which there was great violence. In 1978, I was involved with VAWA trying to get legislation passed. That was one of the things that made me want to be supportive of the organization. Women had to make violence against women an issue, and they did. They wrote letters, they talked to the legislators, they raised it to conversations. They made it something that was inescapable for any legislator.
We must make no mistake about it. Domestic violence is a crime. It is not just a family matter.
I think that it's really important that we stay ahead of the curve in this conversation about AI. With using images of women, we can't just sit back. It's up to us to keep the conversation going to protect every citizen, women and children in particular. We have a duty to define the debate.
Millions of women in America will go to bed tonight without access to the health care and reproductive care that they had this morning.
In the 70s, it was a very scary time for a lot of people, a matter of life and death. What allowed now to make such a large difference historically was taking the onus and naming the issue and calling out reproductive justice for what it needed to be at that time, and then continuing on through the years to make it such a staple within our organization and fight for those changes. Access to reproductive health care, maternal mortality, access to even having the choice to have a child in the first place. I mean, the list goes on and on when we talk about reproductive justice. As time has gone on, the shift from choice to justice also shows a shift in how our organization operates and should operate. We so deeply support the autonomy of women in our society. And that goes back to voting rights, to economic justice, to all 6 of our core pillars. And we can't really have one without the other. And I think that when we started, that was the vision. And so now that's who we are. That's what we do.
Your voice, your experience, your life has value.
So the time to wait is over.
Women's rights are under attack.
The time is now.
There's never a better time to fight for what you believe in.
We can't wait for the misogynistic society to invite us in.
Why now? There are lots of women who are afraid to come forward, and so we have a responsibility to help organize those voices.
Why now? Now puts women first in the agenda.
We belong in the House, the Senate, and everywhere else.
We can't wait for a change.
It's an organization that's truly run by members.
The National Organization for Women has this power that we hold as a 60-year organization to extend in every category.
Moving forward, we have to stand together. Every single generation brings something that is incredibly valuable. And when we add more chairs for more people to come in, we only